Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Tristan Pottas, as CEO at First Development Resources. Hi today, Tristan.
Hi, Zach. Great to be speaking with you.
Well, it looks as though congratulations are in order. We spoke and we've met a few times in the last year, but you got it over the line. You're on aim. And you've even got a mention today in the Daily Mail, the Midas column, sort of putting you up with the leading lights, especially in the gold front. But maybe you can tell us a bit more of what you're actually doing.
Definitely. Thanks, Zach. And yeah, look, I think as you mentioned in your column, the FDR IPO, there was a bit of a lead up to it, but we were absolutely delighted that we achieved our, I guess, initial objective of getting the company listed back at the end of July. From the outset, we stated that we want to hit the ground running in terms of exploration, and that's exactly what we are doing. Um, I guess what sets us apart is just that. We've been able to spend a number of months or even years in preparing for the commencement of exploration. So, at our primary project, which is the Walal project in the Patterson, we've been able to get everything we need in place to facilitate exploration, such as, the necessary permissions and approvals, which include the Heritage Clearance Survey, which has been completed. Last week, we announced we had appointed DDH1 Drilling as the drilling contractor. And this week, only a week after he was on the balcony at the Stock Exchange, our chairman, Mike Moore, was on site at Walal assessing the ground to understand what work needs to be done to accommodate a drill rig. And thankfully, the site is in pretty good nick. It'll need a bit of touching up, but essentially, we are hoping to have a rig turning up on site as soon as possible to commence exploration, targeting these magnetic bullseye anomalies in the Patterson. Beyond the Western Australian primary focus, we also have a multi-metal project in the Northern Territory. And again, during the pre-IPO process, we've been working on various studies to better understand what the potential of the ground there is, and conducting our own reconnaissance. And again, we'd like to have teams on site as soon as possible to basically develop the understanding that we currently have with a view to hopefully identifying drill targets in the not too distant future.
So we all know that Patterson is a hot area, but it seems that the waiting game to come to market. You've not wasted that time. You've actually been doing your stuff and behaving as if you're already listed and waiting for eager investors to get involved.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Zach. I mean, as you know, in exploration, it's about being decisive, really. One of the old sayings is, "How do you kill an exploration company? You do some work." Ultimately, it's the juniors that go out and take on I guess, the risk of making these discoveries. So, from First Development Resources perspective, we want to just give ourselves the best chance of making the discovery. And as you say, we've spent a number of months and if not years working on better understanding the targets, and now it's a question of now we have the financial means to do so, putting money into the ground. Because as we always say, Zach, you can only find something if you're prepared to go looking for it, and that's exactly what First Development Resources wants to do.
So the differentiator between you and many other exploration companies is, I suppose, the jurisdiction. You also got a sort of double-barreled situation where if one, Northern Territory disappoints, then you've got Western Australia, etc. So you're slightly hedged on that. You're hedged in terms of also the commodities. You've got a decent spread of commodities as well, including the very hot at the moment, rare earths. And basically, you are looking at hopefully projects of scale.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Zach. I think just to touch on that first point, investors want to see companies exploring, okay, because that's why they invest. I think FDR, that's as I mentioned, that's what we're doing. We're putting money into the ground. And again, you're absolutely right. We've come on market at a time when the metals that we have or we hope we have in our portfolio have certainly got a high profile, particularly in the rare earth element space. But obviously, your listeners will know that, with copper and gold are both doing very well. So despite the challenges, I guess, of FDR coming to market, I guess in a serendipitous kind of way, we're coming on at a time this year, which is a much better backdrop to what it potentially has been in the preceding 2 or 3 years as we've been working towards the IPO. So yeah, look, it's we think we're coming at the right time, and we just can't wait to get started.
And so, according to the Midas column, which obviously is the word of God, The drilling will start as soon as possible, so that could be in weeks, and you could actually have results by the end of the year, which is a decent window for investors. You know, they're obviously notoriously impatient, and they want something to happen within months, not years.
That's exactly right, Zach. It's not just for investors. I guess from our own perspective, we've waited long enough to get on market. Now it's a question of testing these targets and seeing what we've potentially got down there. As you've mentioned on this discussion, the Patterson's a great place to be exploring. It's home to some fantastic long established mines, but also some very high profile recent discoveries. And there's nothing right now to suggest that FDR can't join the ranks of success. There's great examples of what success can look like, and as you say, we want to have a rig turning as soon as possible. You know, based on the I guess the schedule that we are working to, we would like to have the whole campaign wrapped up from start to finish, and that includes the receipt of assays within 3 months. And we hope to provide an update to shareholders and interested parties in the very near future as to when we hope to have a rig on site. But as I've said, we hope it will be turning as soon as possible.
Well, we look forward to that. In the meantime, Tristan Pottas, CEO at First Development Resources, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate your time today.